Frugal Crafter. Today I have a little bit of an artist vlog for you because a lot of you guys are asking me how to set up art classes and painting parties and things like that. So as you might know, I do in-person painting classes, and I have done painting parties in the past. And I think when you're trying to decide what you want to do for your art business, whether teaching parties or teaching classes, I would actually think you'd be best off to do both, and here's why. The people that come for your painting parties oftentimes are going to be beginners. They may never have painted before, and you can get a lot more people to come into a painting party because there's no commitment. They show up, they don't have to bring anything, and they get to leave with a finished painting. And it's also social and very fun, and they can do it with their friends. But you know, say you have 30 people in that class, there may be 2 or 3 that would be willing to take a weekly class. They want maybe more in-depth knowledge. So if you had a weekly class going in addition to your painting parties, those people can be absorbed into that class and become repeat customers. Therefore, you have a more solid, stable income stream. So for painting parties, generally, you're providing everything your students need, from canvases, paints, palettes, brushes, easels, and you're going to be dealing with a lot of beginners. So chances are those brushes will need to be replaced quite often. You're not going to make as much per person in a painting party as you will in a painting class. When you have a painting class, typically your students will bring all of their own supplies and they'll sign up for a series. So when I was doing classes at my studio, I had about 5 classes a week, and I had people sign up for a month at a time, or a series, which might be 6 or 8 weeks. Now the thing that's great about that is that if somebody is committed to a week, to like a month worth of classes or an 8-week series, and they've paid for that, they're going to show up for class. If you have a drop-in group of people, they may not feel bad missing a class because they haven't already paid for it. They may not see that as a priority, whereas if they've already paid for it, they've already assigned value to it, and they'll show up. For instance, I do free classes at my local library, and I notice a lot of times people just don't show up because they don't value it, because it's free. They think, well, I'll just catch it next time. I'm not out anything if I don't go. Whereas if they've already paid for a class, they are out something if they don't go. They're missing out on the knowledge that they've already paid for. So if you do opt for classes, I would definitely have people pay for a series of classes so they're more likely to actually come and get something from the class. Because you got to figure, if someone is dropping in and just paying as they go, and there's an 8-week series and they only make it to 3 classes, they're going to be disappointed that they have not learned as much as other students from an 8-week class, and they may not try it again. Whereas the student that's come every week for 8 weeks is going to have a much greater knowledge, and they're going to be creating much better artwork. So think of it that way. It's also a gift to your students because you're holding them accountable every week to come. So, you know, you have both options. I think doing them together is a great idea. I used to do birthday parties for kids in addition to my kids' classes. So every child in my kids' classes, and I'd have probably about 30 or 40, they have birthdays, so that kid gave me a very robust schedule of birthday parties to do, and that would introduce kids that weren't taking my classes into my classes, and then they often would sign up and take a class as well. So they kind of feed each other. You got to feed those beasts and keep your business thriving. So I say do both. If you're just getting started, a paint party is a nice way to kind of ease yourself into the teaching aspect. However, there is that investment. Most people will expect you to have easels for every student, and then there's the canvases and brushes, and you're probably not going to make any money for the first couple of classes because you'll be spending all that money back getting all of those supplies you need. And beginner students are hard on brushes, especially if they don't own them. You're not really going to have a chance to give a big lesson on brush care and maintenance to a group of beginners. You kind of got to jump in and get them painting and then get them out the door in an hour and a half or 2 hours. So it's definitely like the marathon of painting classes. You got to be energetic, personable, get them all taught and get them out the door in a certain amount of time. So I think they're both great. I think that as far as stability, having a class going is going to pay off long term, big picture, because you're going to be getting that steady income month after month after month. But the paint classes can help you build that body of students to keep that steady income going. The other drawback of having a paint class is that you're going to need a location that you're going to provide. Generally with a painting party, you're traveling to somebody's home, you're traveling to somebody's, you know, center. They may be renting a space for an evening. Generally, the location is not your responsibility. Of course, if you do rent a studio anyway and you have classes going on, then you can offer that room as part of your paint party package, which is very valuable to somebody wanting to do a paint party for a fundraiser or a bridal shower or just for fun. So keep that stuff in mind. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'd love to help you out because I know a lot of you guys out there are interested in teaching, and I think paint parties are a great way to share the love, and they're certainly a really popular fad right now. And that's the other thing, never base your business on a fad, and I think paint parties are a fad. Paint classes are going to be around forever, but the paint parties are just really hot right now with the whole sip and paint movement. So if you can take some of those students and put them into a long-term learning environment, you're going to have a stable income that you can carry on for years to come. I hope that helped you out. I really think teaching is probably the most stable way an artist can make a living, and if this video helps anybody out there attain that, I will be so happy. So please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Share it with anybody you know that's looking to perhaps teach art to other people, and until next time, happy crafting.